Welcome. We are really excited to have you all. Feel very blessed to have a great audience very early in the morning. Thank you so much. It's quite a feat for anyone to be up at 6:30 or 7 in the morning in New York. So thank you. We are really excited to have you all here today, and we'll try to make it really efficient and quick to get you back to the startups, to talk with them and engage with them. First, however, I want to introduce really kind of one of our key sponsors. We have two, but Parsons in particular and Joel Towers specifically has done an extraordinary amount for us to move with lightning speed to make all this happen for us and give us this amazing space, which without whom we couldn't just do this. So I'm going to give the floor to Joel because he's got a great vision, how he thinks, how the school thinks. And as executive dean of the Parsons School of Design, he's just been a complete thought leader, and we follow him very closely. So Joel, up.
I got it. So we thought if we started with jazz, it would be like a continuation from last night. Just, you know. So thanks, guys, from College of Performing Arts. Welcome to the new school and welcome to Parsons. I thought I was going to be introducing Pano, but he introduced me, so we always have something in the morning that we got to work on. But it's a pleasure to have you all here to see the demo day for the third cohort of XRC. Probably the least surprising thing that will be said today is that retail is in need of innovation. We know this is the case. The question is, how do you do that? How do you bring together the various partners, and how do you bring human-centered, design-centered thinking into the equation so that the transformation of retail happens in a way that's not only related to and inspired by the customer, by people, but is understanding of the particular challenges in the time in which we live. And Pano asked me to say a couple words about where I think XRC is going in the future. I think you're about to see that. In this cohort. But I also think that there are several issues that XRC has taken on that feel to me like they are built out of the ecosystem brought together by brands, by retailers, by innovators and startups, and by design. And there are a series of challenges that we face. One of them in particular that I'm very focused on, so I'll just say a couple words on that, is the role of sustainability broadly in design. I don't have to tell any of you that we face a very particular challenge in this political environment as to how it is we are going to move forward, looking forward, thinking forward, being aware of the changes that are happening in the world around us, and doing so in a way that is responsible towards our environment, because that's where retailers are going. That's where successful retailers are going. Not because it's politics, but because it's very, very good business, and it's really the future. And the future is the issue here. And that's what we focus on at Parsons. It's what XRC is doing. And I think if you read some of the tea leaves and you read a lot of the papers, what you hear is that regardless of what's happening in politics, transformation is happening in the business sector around these core issues. And you see that in some of the work of the cohort today. You've seen it across XRC in its broad spectrum. And I think it's something that you can look forward to both in this work today and in the future, which is that the new ideas that are both innovative, responsible, and viable from a business perspective are all going to be coming out of this kind of startup culture. They're all going to be triple bottom line, and they're all going to be enormously successful. So with that, I want to thank just a couple people, Leslie Cohen, I want to thank Carly-Ann Fergus, I want to thank Anu Malhotra, all of the people on the various teams. It's not just the real estate that we share with XRC that makes this possible, it's the culture of design and the culture of innovation of Parsons and the entire New School. So we're very glad you're here. I don't want to say any more than that. I want to bring Pano back up on stage to say a few more words. Thank you for being here. I think it's going to be super exciting.
Thank you, Joel. When you have thought leadership like Parsons kind of helping you think through the challenges, it's been just miraculous. The students have been amazing. We bring lots of students on as interns and associates. The graduate students have an enormous role to play. And so we continue to want that relationship to blend into our world and their world. And it seems like it's working really well, so we're really very thankful. I'm going to say a couple words and to kick things off, to put things in context. You know, the streams have crossed, to use the old Ghostbusters phrase. Online traffic actually exceeded foot traffic in stores on Thanksgiving for the first time in history. That's a pretty big statement. It's a pretty big dramatic shift going on. And what that's led to, and we see this in the press now, is the store closures are rampant. Why go into a store? What is a store? Do we redefine what a store is? And so we come back to the number one issue today is the pace of innovation in retail and consumer goods. And that, frankly, I wish it were just a technology issue, that we could just take a silver object, give it to you, take it like the blue pill or the red pill, and then you're all set. But that's just not the way it works. And so in fact, we kind of frame everything we do, even with our startups, with respect to culture. And we look at it really as a comparison between technology and the way retail and consumer goods act today. So on the technology side, failing fast is just given. You've all seen the Twitter fail whale, if you used Twitter in the early days. That would never be allowed in the retail world. You'd be fired in 5 seconds. Failure is not acceptable. And then the whole idea of what your product is in the technology world is about something getting it out fast and testing versus perfection. It's just not tolerated in retail today. I was one retailer and I said, well, just put a sign up and test this concept. And they said, a sign? Putting a sign up in our store takes 6 weeks and 30 approvals. And then it has to stay there for 10 weeks. So the whole notion of testing and iteration is just not part of the current retail fabric. And then why are you building something? Well, retailers love to build to last. They take great pride in the fact that they've been around 150 years or 100 years or 70 years, whereas Google has already changed their name to Alphabet, and they're less than 20 years old. What's that about? So we look at this next question as really the archetype issue, which is retailers still think they know better. And no offense to the merchandisers in this room, but the reality is you don't. And the consumer is voting constantly with their feet and with their wallet and with their phones in other directions. And until we start understanding that they know better, not we, this will never get fixed. And so we're really promoting inside XRC, not just the technology, but culture change. To listen to the startups, not to say you got to adopt it right away, but to understand that your way of doing things may not be the correct way any longer. And then the issue of perfection and imperfection is, are you begging for forgiveness or permission? You know, we started this program with Joel with literally, you know, we were changing the engine while it was running. We were changing the fan belt. We were making changes literally like 3 days before we opened. There was a lot of glue that hadn't been glued yet, right? It was loose. But the powerful attitude that Parsons brought to this was, that's okay. You know, just don't hurt our brand, that's okay. And we didn't. But that was also because everyone worked on this together in that fashion. And lastly is this notion of openness. This group of people is a testimony to the openness that we're trying to promote here. It's not about me, it's not about Joel, it's not about Leslie or Anu, or anyone in this organization, or Carly-Ann. It's about all of you. And we actually feel the power of you getting connected to each other and getting a wider view of what's going on in the world than we could ever do individually. So when we look at the challenge that Amazon put forward, is you ask yourself, why on earth did they get so much press out of this? They got ridiculous amounts of press. Even James Corden, who's amazing, right, put it in his monologue. Come on, this is 5-year-old technology, folks. Amazon Go is not new. But Amazon has a culture of failing and willingness to fail, and so everyone expects that they will get it right sometime. Why can't we be that way? So we look at five now, actually, key frameworks. And we're going to be seeing them today. I'm not going to go through in details, but store to customer, which is, what are you anymore? Are you four walls, or are you actually something more than that? Experience, we know about platform services and rentals. So time is the most important commodity today. It's more important than money. And you'll see that all the time in the way we operate with our phones. And my question to you is, as a brand or store, are you demanding me to come to you? Or are you helping you go to me? And are you meeting me halfway, or are you insisting on me doing all the heavy lifting to get to your product and service? And so we see a lot of work being done around stores to customer, right? Moving your brand and product into the streets, onto the sidewalks, and moving that fashion. We also think that stores experience is full of friction, way too complicated, way too difficult. Everything is about eliminating friction. And so you don't want that friction in your store experience. And are you asking that question, what are we doing to make my job as a consumer, how are you helping me get done faster and through the store? Whereas candidly, most people look at this and say, well, we don't listen very well. Walt Disney lived in Disney World. He lived in Disney World for 1/3 of his life, essentially, once it was opened. And he would walk around at 8 o'clock in the morning asking people, what did you think of that? How did you feel about this? And his staff was freaking out because they had no control over him. He was listening. Ask yourself the question, are your executives doing that with your customers and consumers constantly? The last point I'll make here is on personalization. When we look at personalization, we ask the question, who's the best at this? And we think that Starbucks is by far the best at this. Who else has taken a cup of Java, a commodity, and turned it into a $4 experience that we all know? How many of you drink Starbucks, by the way? Yeah. And then, what is your favorite coffee? What do you drink? Soy chai latte, right? What is that? I have no idea what that is. And that's the good news. It's your language, it's your concept. What's a venti, by the way? I have no idea what a venti is. I still can't translate that. So the idea here is there's a tribal communion going on here. There's a language, and they've developed this personalization very importantly. And then I ask a question, what is this? This is merchandising? This is chaos. You know? I just don't understand what this is about and what you're trying to tell me as a consumer. And so we're just arguing that you've got to move to this model of stores platform. That your platform, this is the largest store in the world. It's the App Store, right? By far the largest, bigger than Amazon. And it's not bigger in terms of dollar volume, it's bigger in terms of downloads and transactions. And we ask you, are you a platform? Are your ratings and reviews in your stores? Probably not. And then are you in the service and rental model? You know, we're seeing a lot, you'll see some today around this whole notion of store as service. What does that mean? What does that turn into? How are you bringing that capability to the customer? And lastly, store as plant. We believe very strongly in the whole 3D knitting, 3D printing. We had a great dinner last night on 3D wearables and where that was and when it was going to turn into something that would scale. It's going to be challenging, there's no question, but it's coming. And you saw the press yesterday in Quartz, Adidas, and a number of other players are putting these machines in stores. It's awkward. It takes a crane to put the machine into the store. It's not trivial. But it's powerful, and it's starting to evoke next generation attitudes. And so we're very much aligned with Parsons in that designs first, consumers first, not your idea of what design is, but their idea, the consumer's idea of what the appropriate designs are. We believe in this whole notion that supply chains are going to have to change radically to be successful. And lastly, we believe that the analytics need to inform everything we're doing. So with that, we want to highlight again two of our super core sponsors, Kurt Salmon, part of Accenture now, and Parsons have been extraordinarily founding sponsors for us, and then a great group of both Intel, TJX, and Lowe's are recent partners of ours, as well as the trade organizations, NRF, RELA, and Shop Talk, and ThoughtWorks, and we're very excited to have them continue to support us in this way. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Leslie and start the real kickoff.
Good morning. As most of you probably know, entrepreneurs are not known for being early risers, so we're thrilled that you're here to see XRC cohort companies reveal their startups and the progress they've made over the past 14 weeks. There'll be opportunity afterwards, as Pano mentioned, to go downstairs and spend a little more time with each of the founders, learning more about their businesses and their fundraising goals. First up, We're now able to analyze data and performance in real time, but data can be overwhelming if our questions are not quite straightforward. Chat Query removes that burden, the burden of data, and it provides answers, empowering answers, that allow a business decision and a business decision maker look good.
Good morning. My name is Alex, and we are Chat Query. So Chat Query has one goal, and that is to make work in retail and e-commerce slightly less stressful. And to do that, we've built a chatbot for data analytics. So we help people who aren't very good with numbers understand numbers. So this is my friend, Mike. Mike is a manager at an e-commerce store. And every single Monday morning, Mike has all these emails and all these dashboards to look through, all of these numbers. But the problem is, Mike is not a trained data analyst. So all of these numbers, they overwhelm him very easily. Let's take a simple question Mike wants to ask on a Monday morning, like how many red Converse sneakers did we find? Right now, if Mike wants to find that answer, he has to find the right dashboard, the right tab, the right table, then the right column, and the right row. That's actually very hard for most people who don't understand numbers. The answer's there, by the way, but Mike doesn't know that until he's found it. So the question we have to ask is, why is it this hard? Why can't it just be simpler? Why can't you just ask the question and get the answer, like you would a real person? And that's what Chat Query does. First of all, we connect to all of your retail data information, things like Shopify, Magento, your Google Analytics. We pull that together into one place, and then through a chat platform like Slack, Link, or IBM SameTime, we let you query your data like you would a real person. It's like having your own data assistant. You can ask questions, and like a real person, when something happens, like a spike in web traffic, we'll tell you. And here's what it looks like. Someone asks you, what's sales last week? That's fine. Just ask a question. Chat Query goes out and returns you the answer. It's that simple. What about something similar? Like Converse shoes. How many did we sell? Ask the question, get the answer. That's it. What about something slightly harder? You want to know if you sold more blue sweaters or red sweaters. Ask the question, Chat Query finds the information, calculates, and returns the answer. As not just limited to asking basic questions, you can simply tell, if something happens, let me know. If stock runs low, let me know so I can fix it. Why does it have to be so hard when data can be this simple? So now we want to empower people like Mike so they can relax and make decisions with their data, spend less time looking at data and more time improving their business. But the question we have to ask is, how do we get here? Why is this such a big problem? And to understand that, we go through history a little bit. You know, as Pano would show you earlier, when e-commerce began, all you needed was a shopping cart. It was that simple. But over time, we added all of these platforms, things like Google Analytics, to help us understand our customers. And all of a sudden, you went from one platform to 6. And that problem is only going to get worse. You're going to hear some really cool stuff from the other XRC companies, but the one thing you should know is that every one of their platforms generates more data that someone in the business has to understand. And all of this data gets overwhelming very quickly. If you think Mike, with 6 data sources, is having problems, imagine having 10, 15, or 20. If you don't have Chat Query, this data, you will never make use of it properly. So there's 2 key technologies that we have that make this all work. And the first is natural language. So we want you to ask questions as you would a real person. And the second thing is machine learning. Every time you ask a query, we save that query, and then we use machine learning to improve future searches. It's like Google search. The more you use it, the better it becomes. And the cool thing we discovered is that more than 90% of our questions come from 7 question categories. And that's really important because what it means is that when a new user joins us today, 90% of the questions they want to ask, we have an answer for automatically. And that number increases as we have more data. So the more users who use it, that number will go up. Since we joined XRC, we went from a few hundred searches every single week to just over 3,000. So if you want to join XRC, this is proof that traction really does happen. Oh. And the real reason, no, I'm just kidding. The real reason we joined XRC, other than the free Red Bull we get every single day, which we all need right now, is that our target market is actually e-commerce. Businesses that make less than $1 billion a year. These are places that are very data-rich, information poor. They can't afford their own data analysts. And for us, this is the perfect market. And it's worth $1.6 billion every year. When we grow and expand, we want the rest of the retail market. And eventually, we want a big chunk of the data analytics market as a whole. And the reason is we see data, the user of data in the future, not to be data scientists, but everyone in a business. Everyone has to deal with data. Everyone has to make decisions. So why are all the tools so complicated? Chat Query is here to change that. And on that point, we're really happy to announce that we're going to be working in partnership with KPN, a large Dutch telecommunications company, where more than 2,000 of their users are going to use our platform to answer their questions related to data. And the best thing about this is we're going to get some 75,000 queries every single month, and that's going to accelerate the growth of our AI. It's not going to be Skynet, but hopefully we'll be close. So my co-founder and I actually went to college together. We make up exactly 50% of Australians in our class at Princeton. We're also very tech-focused. Our first two engineering hires both come from Google. And other than trying to build Skynet, we really want to build an AI that just makes people's lives easier. We hear all these crazy things about how AI is destroying jobs. We think AI is here to help you make life easier. Chat Query. Ask a question, get the answer. Thank you very much.
Great job, Alex. Thank you. Over 1 million employees leave their jobs in the US monthly due to lack of recognition. So I'd like to just say to my staff, thank you very much. But corporate culture and company culture is becoming increasingly important when it comes to job satisfaction. Snappy, our next company, actually delivers a solution that makes companies and employees very happy. So, presenting Hani from Snappy.
Hello, and thank you for coming so early in the morning. I'm Hani Goldstein, the co-founder and CEO of Snappy. We have invented a simple, effective, and fun solution for organizations to reward their team members in a way that would make them feel appreciated and valued. I want to start by telling you about Josh. Josh is a business development manager who works at a large firm. Like many of us, Josh works past midnight, and once he opens his eyes, he reaches to his phone and starts to answer emails from his bed. When Josh arrives at his office on his 5th-year anniversary, he sees a $50 gift card on his desk with a thank you note that might as well say, "Hey team member, your 5 years of hard work are worth $50 to the company." Is this the best way a company can reward and retain a hardworking employee like Josh? Absolutely not. It feels like the company doesn't care. But the truth is that companies do care. In fact, they care so much that they spend $90 billion a year on non-cash incentives, $75 billion of which are spent on merchandise and gift cards. And the market is growing 17% since 2013. The problem is that all of these resources are spent on solutions like this. Boring gift cards that put a price tag on your employee's contribution, generic gifts that get tossed to the garbage, or simply the wrong gift which feels like the company doesn't know who you are. But there is a better way. So today, I would like to introduce you to Snappy, an innovative and smart solutions that help companies reward and retain their hardworking employees. Snappy offers a fun and interactive digital experience that allows team members to choose the gift they like most, while also putting a smile on their face and creating an experience around it, making sure that the company's resources are well spent. So how does the process work? You want to keep on watching the movie? Snappy hand curates a collection of gifts for each company according to the company's budget and culture. Once the company approves, Snappy sends an email or a text message with a link to digitally unwrap the gift. Team members can then click on the link and see the greeting from the company. They can then scratch the screen to reveal what they got. So let's see what Josh got. Woohoo, a drone. At this point, they can either give the drone the thumbs up or swipe to select a different option from the collection. As you can see, all of Snappy's gifts don't have price tags, and they're all personalized to their recipient. Once the recipient chooses a gift, they can then put in their shipping information, ensuring they get the exact gift they want delivered directly to them. Team members can also choose to designate their gift to their favorite charity. This option not only makes the team members feel good about themselves, it also fosters a corporate culture of generosity. But Snappy is not only fun for the team members. HR managers don't have to handle logistics or run out of ideas. They could just check into Snappy's dashboard, see reports, engagement metrics, track the gift, and see who selected what. And the best part, they receive thank you notes from their team, making them feel like a hero. We have seen incredible results across all of our clients, with 99% engagement from the team members, 5-star feedback from both team members and HR managers, and we haven't received even one return. Everybody who's tried Snappy is loving it. In fact, they love it so much that a third of our corporate clients came from recommendations from other clients. Here is just some of the feedback that we wake up to every morning and see, and there's hundreds more quotes like this. Since we started to onboard corporate clients, it's been only a few weeks, and we already managed to contract with 9 companies and delivered gifts to their employees. These team members were so excited to receive their Snappy gift that many of them, in turn, downloaded our app and sent gifts on their own. The virality of Snappy has proven our business approach to changing the way gifts are given. For every recipient of a Snappy gift, 2 users are generated organically and download our app. We have a stellar team with solid backgrounds in tech, marketing, business development, and sales, and they are all committed 100% to the success of Snappy, delivering excellent results and not sleeping like Josh past midnight. Today, I am very excited to announce great news. We have secured a pilot with Sodexo. Sodexo is one of the largest human capital management firms worldwide, serving 75 million employees in 80 different countries. A huge opportunity for us to spread the Snappy joy. Thank you.
Thanks, Hani. And thank you again to my staff. You'll all be receiving Snappies later. Some of you already have. Okay, so on to Cartogram. How many of you have wandered aimlessly through a complex, wondering where the nearest bathroom was, or perhaps the closest cup of coffee, or maybe just your ultimate destination? Meet Cartogram, who will be able to get you from your initial point of departure to your destination effortlessly.
Hi there, and thank you so much for being here today with us. My name is Will Clausen, and I'm the CEO and founder of Cartogram. Cartogram is an indoor location services company. So you can think of us like Waze for the inside of buildings, but with a focus on business. We have two key products. One product enables indoor wayfinding for businesses, and the second enables businesses to see precisely where their employees are spending their time inside of their venue. And I'll walk through a few examples with you. So meet Spike. Spike is a New York Knicks fan, and he's at a game, it's halftime, and it's time to get some food. So he goes outside of his seating section, and he's actually looking for a cheeseburger. And he looks around, he doesn't see what he's looking for, so he sees a hot dog stand and a pizza concession. So he's like, well, I'll wait in line for a hot dog. It's kind of a long line. And as he's waiting there, he realizes he doesn't even really want a hot dog. And it's a long line, the second half's about to start. So Spike chooses not to make a purchase and goes back to watch the second half of the game. Madison Square Garden just lost the sale because Spike couldn't find exactly what he was looking for. Now, if he was using Cartogram could enable him to find exactly what he wanted inside of the venue, and in this case, with the shortest line. Now let's fast forward to the end of the game. It's time for cleanup. Meet Sarah. Sarah is the lead facilities manager at Madison Square Garden, and she has about 100 folks who work for her, both janitors, technicians, lots of folks inside of the venue. And for the most part, her team does a great job. But sometimes she gets complaints. Maybe the bathroom doesn't get cleaned, or it's also possible that things don't get fixed as quickly as people would like. Sarah's big problem is that she really doesn't understand how her team is spending their time inside of the venue. If she just knew that somebody didn't spend as much time as they should have cleaning the bathroom, well, she would have known about it in advance. When you think about her problem compared with Spike's problem, it's really the same problem. They have an issue with understanding exactly what's happening on the inside of the building, and this is where Cartogram can come in. Cartogram, again, is an indoor location services company, and we provide software to businesses that we sell as an annual subscription. In terms of the way that the software works and how we get our software out to the customer or to their employees, we have an app, we have the ability to integrate into a website, we have a new service called SMS Search, which enables you to send a text message from a feature phone or a smartphone, and you can see exactly where things are just by clicking a link in the response for that text message. So let's kind of walk through the way that this works. And this is going to be a video here of Alex. And Alex is a lot luckier than Spike is because Alex has Cartogram. So Alex is going to search for what he's looking for in terms of a product, and he finds his cheeseburger. And so when Alex clicks on the cheeseburger, he learns a little bit more information about it in the description. And now Alex is going to get the opportunity to get turn-by-turn navigation inside of Golden One Center, which is actually the home of the Sacramento Kings, to get to his cheeseburger. And it's not just any cheeseburger, it's a cheeseburger that has the shortest line. And so this is going to open up new customer experience opportunities for sports venues and really any type of large venue that has products that are being sold. Now here we're showing Cartogram's SMS Search. So this is the ability to send a text message, say where is the emergency room, or where is anything on the inside of a building, and then we'll text you back and tell you exactly where it is, no app required. And then you can navigate to it just like you see here. And so this opens up lots of opportunities for anybody who has an app or who doesn't have an app. Even a website or an on-site kiosk would be just fine. And so in terms of the markets that we're focusing on, you can think of hospitals and college campuses. You can think of large airports and retail and malls. There's so much opportunity for us. But when you think about the scenario, maybe for the sports venue, where somebody wants to get directions from their house to a parking garage, and then to the front door of the sports venue, and then to your seat, and then to the concession stand that has the product that you want, that's in stock right now, with the shortest line, well, if you're a sports venue, you have two options. You can either go out and try to stitch a bunch of solutions together, or you can call Cartogram, which has a comprehensive solution that's going to get the work done right the first time. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of the traction that we have here at Cartogram. We're already deployed at several venues. One of our flagship customers is Golden One Center, which is the home of the Sacramento Kings and also the most high-tech sports venue in the world. In terms of the market size, we're looking at about a $4 billion market opportunity annually. And so that's across airports. That means hospitals and all the other venue types that I mentioned before. Of course, we have a very talented team here at Cartogram for myself, actually my most recent gig was at Microsoft Research, where I helped Microsoft Research solve some of their global cloud efficiency problems. We also have Sandeep Singhal on the team. He was our chief advisor, but he was also the prior leader of Microsoft's Bing Maps organization. And finally, Davis Johnson, he's actually over here in the house, and he has over 10 years of business development experience. So I have a little bit of an announcement today. There's a large fire and security company that contacted us in Q4 of last year. They were interested in us helping them expedite their building inspections when they go inside the buildings to check on the fire and security devices, like manual pull stations, like smoke detectors. They wanted to see a 20% improvement in the amount of time it takes for their inspectors to go through the buildings. We showed them 39% improvement. And so what this means is they can take that 39% of their time and go use it somewhere else to make more money. And so now they've told us that they want to move forward with the phase 2 for the pilot, and so we're really excited to share that with you today. Just one more note that I'll leave you with, for every outdoor use of Waze, there's an indoor use of Cartogram. And if anybody wants to see the next generation of indoor location services, please stop by our booth. Thank you so much.
As you saw from Pano's presentation, online shopping is certainly on the rise, but I've yet to find a replacement for browsing through a store. Yet sometimes that journey can become frustrating. Our next company, Checkout, has a way to surprise and delight a shopper with the right item at the right time to the right customer.
Good morning. My name is Asaf Shapira, and I'm the founder and CEO of Checkout. Checkout is a display management platform that is bringing tools and technique from the online industry into brick and mortar stores. 6 years ago, I founded my first company together with the same team. We managed to generate $300 million from online advertising. Today, we are gathering again to bring our expertise and wisdom from the online into the physical stores. Look at that store on an unexpected rainy day. While the store window is still showing items that were set up 2 weeks ago, the street vendors able to react fast. They go out to the street offering umbrellas. As you can see, stores has a problem to react as fast as those street vendors. And the retailers, they know that. Retailers know that the inventory layout inside their stores remain the same for a long period of time. They know that in many situations, the items that are highlighted does not match the customer's desire. As they review their online and their offline performances, they realize that the website are updating multiple times per day, leveraging data, offering the customer the right product. This is the moment the retailer should ask themselves, why can't our physical stores act the same as our website? So the first time, by using digital screens in a smart way, retailer can replicate the efficient advertising models into their brick and mortars. This is how it's going to look like inside a store. With our platform, stores enable to act like website, leveraging data of online together with internal and external factors, making sure that the right products are in front of the customers at the right time. And if I will go back to that store on the street, seeing the umbrella on a screen in this example through the window might make this lady that is wearing only a coat to get inside the store, and this time she will also buy herself sweater and shoes. As you can see, checkout is not a new concept. What it is technology making the best sales practice in the world possible for bricks and mortars. We are actually a service layer. We plug in to the retail data sources. We manage and coordinate the delivery of the right messages inside the relevant department inside the store. This is how the platform looks like from inside. We enable to match between specific items and specific screens. The solution can work the same for one store or across the whole chain. And this is the most interesting part of it. The control panel that enable to manage the screen by defining the different parameters. I was talking about weather. There are other parameters like most searchable items or bestseller. We all know what's happened when people see Rihanna on a talk show. They go out the day after looking for the same red dress that she was wearing. This time, by tracking the new trend, retailer will be able to promote the right item at the right time. There are almost 4 million stores in the US. No need to talk about that retailers are struggling more than ever to find a new concept to keep those stores alive. And the main reason is that those stores are still responsible for 90% of the income. As part of this effort, retailers are already spending $6 billion a year on digital screens. This is checkout's biggest opportunity. We want to be the company that is managing those screens from behind. Retailers already integrated dynamic data into the website. They managed to bump up the sales. We want to do the same for the physical stores. With a $500 fee per month per store, targeting chain stores, we are able to integrate with any type of retailer. The same platform could work the same for apparel, as well as for jewelries, shoes, and more. In the end of the day, the team is everything. I started by telling you about my team. We believe that the most important thing is to be able to deliver the right messages at the right time. By using our technology, you will be able to make sure that you're promoting the right items to your most targeted audience you can ever ask for. The customers that are already inside your store. I'm happy to say, thanks to XRC, this summer we're going to start a test with DSW in Value City. We can't wait to show them the result. We are checkout. Thank you very much.
Did you know that each day over 1 billion Google searches are performed in the US? And if the information you're searching for is pretty straightforward, your search is satisfied. But if you're looking for fashion or style, there's no way to really locate that look or shop that look until now. Meet Evelyn and mirror that look.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evelyn Nguyen, CEO and co-founder of Mirror That Look. Today, we would like to show you how to use the magic of visual search to find any fashion look that inspires you, online or on the street. Our technology has both enterprise and consumer application. And today, I would like to start with the consumer application. This is Nikki, looking for an item she saw on her friend's Instagram post. Like a lot of women of her age, Nikki gets fashion inspiration from people around her. From fashion-forward women walking down the street of New York, to her friends on Facebook, to style influencers on Instagram, Pinterest, and fashion blogs. But every time she spots something she loves, she has a hard time finding it. She usually has to describe the item into keywords on Google or scroll through pages upon pages of products. Nikki needs a service that seamlessly brings her from inspiration to products that she can purchase at a price she can afford. Introducing Mirror That Look. Mirror That Look is a tool that helps Nikki to go from any photos to her products. We do this by using computer vision combining with our deep learning proprietary method. And we'd like to call this visual intelligence. If Nikki wants to find an item she saw in a photo on Pinterest, She simply right-clicks on the photo and click on Mirror That to open the Mirror That Look pop-up. Here, she sees product suggestions from across the internet. And with just one click, Mirror That Look mirrors the whole look, from the dress to the shoes. To see more on a specific style, she can simply click on More like this. And to purchase, she can simply right-click to the retailer site. We built an artificial intelligence algorithm that mimics how our brain processes images. We established a style DNA that detects all of the special visual features on the item to be able to quickly look it up in a database of millions of products. Social media has been rising as a main source of fashion inspiration. 80% of the millennials, as well as 90% of the Gen Z population, are increasingly looking to photos on social media channels for guidance on what to purchase in fashion. If not through visual search, how else can we jump more quickly from a photo to products? Not only that Mirror That Look empowers consumers in their product discovery and purchase, we also empower businesses like affiliate marketing companies, buyers and merchandisers, and fashion brands and retailers. There are players in the market trying to do the same thing, but our technology outperforms Pinterest, the leader in this space. For the same query item, Pinterest results are on the top, and results from Mirror That Look are at the bottom. You can see that we not only detect the right category, but also the print and the pattern on the item. For a total look search, we really have a robust competitive edge. While Pinterest only returns photos that are within the Pinterest platform that are not necessarily purchasable, we return products from across the internet and with just one click. For Pinterest, users have to manually draw a box around an item of interest. Using Mirror That Look, we take the user from any photo to items to purchase with just one click. Visual search is the next frontier of online search. Companies need visual search to be able to compete with platforms like Pinterest. By tapping into this market, we can make money by software licensing fee, affiliate marketing commission, and advertising fees. We are very excited to announce that after just 1 month of our beta period, we have moved into advanced discussion with 3 of the biggest affiliate marketing companies in the world. 2 retailers agreed on an advertising deal with us, and we have 8 other retailers in discussion. We have currently 4 million products on our platform available to purchase, and 200 users averaging 4 searches per user per day, and a community of 2,100 followers. Before working on Mirror That Look full-time, I was a consultant, and I'm a graduate from MIT with a background in finance and computer science. My co-founder, Surat, who is also here today, we met in a class at MIT 4 years ago, and he went on to get his PhD at Harvard in computer vision and machine learning. He's a holder of multiple patents and a recognized expert in the field. We're also very excited to share with you our working pipeline. For the first time, we are bringing real-time recognition to videos.
2 options. You either follow my rules or follow my rules.
Maybe it means something.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I don't think so. You could just write your own rules, write something that's as interesting as you are.
What are you gonna do?
I have my own club.
Is that gonna happen every time?
I think so.
We are looking to raise our seed round to really accelerate our growth and maintain our technology edge. We are Mirror That Look, and we want to make aspiration attainable. Thank you very much for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you after the presentation.
No one can dispute the fitness craze that's around us. There are flywheel instructors with fanatical followings. There are boutique gyms and there are yoga groupies. For the everyday athlete, authenticity and quality is really important. And for the brand, it's about customization and cost. Zeal can deliver the perfect product to both.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. 6 out of 7, we're almost there. I am Marleen Vogelaar, and I'm the founder and CEO of Zeal. And I'm really happy to share the story of Zeal with you today. I am leveraging my deep experience in on-demand manufacturing with you, because previously, I built the world's largest 3D printing service for consumers in the world, an on-demand service. And I'm building Zeal based on the wealth of knowledge I built there. And I have the team to back it up. So, Zeal is an on-demand manufacturing platform and retail service that creates custom collections for brands and retailers in a fraction of the time. With our solution, our clients can sell custom apparel collections with no minimum order quantity and a lead time unheard of previously. I want you to meet Charlie. Charlie owns SpinFit. It's a growing chain of spinning studios, and she wants to earn additional revenue, build her brand, and grow her community. So she wants to sell high-performance athletic apparel. But she cannot stomach the minimum order quantities of large brands and wholesalers. I mean, that's easily 15K, just to get started. So she ends up buying low-quality, cotton, screen-printed t-shirt, slap a logo on. It won't sell. She still has a lot of stock. So Charlie's problems are actually a microcosm of the larger issues facing the apparel industry today, where the cost of design, markdowns, discounts are really high because of very long lead times and huge minimums in the industry. And going on demand with Zeal not only solves these excess inventories, the markdowns and associated brand dilution, Zeal also plays really well into 3 other trends. Local production, because we want to know where things are made and how they are made. Personalization, because it's all the rage right now. And extended sizing, because let's face it, 80% of women do not fit a standard size, whether they're petite, plus, or maybe freakishly tall. So, Charlie needs a solution. She needs Zeal. So today, I'm really happy to announce that Zeal has developed a new concept, Retail as a Service, RaaS. Zeal designs, makes, dropships, and automatically replenishes custom apparel collections for brands and retailers. Charlie, all she needs to do is connect us to her clients, and we will monetize her client base for her. On top of that, we integrate with standard e-commerce systems and point-of-sale systems to create a seamless solution and experience for both brands and consumers. So Charlie gets the quality apparel that she wants in exactly the quantity she needs and at a turnaround she never dreamed before. So, the US apparel market, there's a $40 billion opportunity for on-demand apparel. And we are currently live within the $10 billion activewear market opportunity of that. Who are our clients? What are our target segments? Our target segments are fitness chains, like Charlie's, spinning, multi-brand retailers in need of private label, and celebrities and influencers who want to monetize their brand. We are currently live with 10 clients, and one of them is Electric Sheep. It's an influencer brand. And not only are they selling right now much higher quality than before, and they're selling 6 collections a year instead of just 1, the most important thing is that their sales are up with 70% this year, 7-0. And for the rest of this year, we expect to add 20 more clients, and based on the current pipeline that we have and the channel partnerships that we've built with companies like IMG, CNA, CAA, and MindBody. So our sales at the end of this year will be 40 times higher than it is today. And so, to facilitate all this growth and to be able to generate unlimited amount of apparel collections for our clients, Zeal's model includes proprietary machine learning technology in order to automate the design process of apparel. And on top of that, like I did at Shapeways, we provide our vendors, our US manufacturers, with the right proprietary software and tools in order to enable them to successfully and efficiently mass produce custom apparel with high economies of scale. And I know exactly how to do that, because I did it before. At Shapeways, I built the company literally from the first order with a 3-week lead time in one kind of crappy material to a company that offered 50 materials, a 3-day lead time, and thousands of products made today. I have one colleague in the room here. Hi, Kegan. And the rest of the team is very experienced in retail, design, and business development, engineering, manufacturing, and retail. And today, because I am not a standard apparel size myself, I'm actually really happy to announce that we are developing an activewear line exclusively for Gwynnie Bee. Gwynnie Bee is a pioneer in a $20 billion plus size market, and soon their private label, designed and delivered by Zeal, will be for sale. I have another announcement to make as well. 2 weeks from now, Candice Hafeen, a premier model from IMG Models, will be running the Boston Marathon in her own line of apparel, designed and delivered by Zeal. So, if you want to join us in Boston because you're runners just like us, please join me to cheer Candice and my colleague Daniel on, who's running as well. If that's maybe a little bit of a stretch for you, come by at the reception, and I really look forward to meeting you. Thank you for your time.
And finally, Benja. Benja is short for Benjamins, which is slang for a $100 bill. With our Benja, brands and customers can get great product at a totally cool price. Presenting Andrew from Benja.
Hello, my name is Andrew Chapin, and I'm the co-founder of Benja. Benja is the only merchandise ad network. What that means is we work with big brands, top-tier brands like Patagonia and the NFL, and we help them sell their stuff. And we're good at it. A $12 investment with Benja returns an average of $240 in sales revenue for our brands. This is Allie. Allie's frustrated, as you can tell. She's frustrated because the existing ad networks, the popular players like Facebook and Google, weren't built to sell stuff. They're just built to generate impressions and clicks. And when Allie's out there looking for a good return on investment, this just isn't making it work for her. So she looks towards some of the new entrants, the exciting things like Snapchat, but unfortunately Snapchat and some of the other ones, they're priced so high that there's no clear path to a good return on investment. All that Allie wants to do is get closer to her customers and generate some sales, and it really shouldn't be that hard. And so that's why we built Benja. With Benja, it's a 4-step process to the sale. First, we make the offer, then the customer says they want it, they tell us where to send it, and that's it. This frictionless experience, when you compare it to the Google 10 to 20 step experience with their advertising, it's clear to see why we're getting the kind of conversion rates that we are. I'd like to show you what I'm talking about. This is our mobile app. This is the iOS. It's available today. You can search Benjamin Deals in the App Store and you'll find it. So here we have personalized deals and 60 seconds to decide whether to buy or pass. So you can see it's much like a Tinder experience. You get one product at a time and you can swipe left and swipe right. You also see the timer there at the bottom, so we're tapping into some of that Snapchat type stuff. This is an ephemeral deal, so once you say no, it's gone forever. It's personalized for you, so you can see size large, you can see your favorite sports teams, and it learns. So we have a lot of behavioral data that goes into this. If you say no to 20 red shirts, we know that you probably don't like red shirts, and so we'll offer you fewer red shirts. We're bringing a lot of fun to the discoverability of TJ Maxx, and we're not just on mobile. We also have an online display ad format. You can see on the left side of the screen there. This is an advertisement that isn't just a text link or an image link that brings you to a landing page. This is an interactive widget. So if you hit pass, you'll see more inventory, and if you hit buy, it'll actually turn right over, and you can complete the transaction without leaving the page that you're on. Like I said, frictionless, fewer steps. And I can tell you about it, I can tell you how great it is, but you don't have to believe me. The proof is in the numbers. So earlier I said that a $12 investment would turn into $240 in sales revenue. That's 15 times what you can expect with Facebook or Google. And with that kind of performance and with this kind of experience, I mean, we want to bring this to every page on the internet. We really do think that there's a solution for every brand and for every website. If that sounds ambitious or if that sounds like a big market, that's because it is. Last year, this is the online display ad market in the United States alone, $67 billion. And with more screens and more screen time, unfortunately, we're looking at growing that into a $100 billion market almost in 2019. Now, this is a big market, big challenge. It requires a great team. I'm really fortunate to work with these two. This is our core team. We've known each other for a collective 17 years. We've worked at startups that have done well. We've worked at startups that have completely imploded. We've had a lot of experience, and it's a group of great people who know how to hustle. Prior to XRC, we had grown this business to be nearly a $500,000 run rate revenue business. A lot of hustle in there. And in the last few months, with XRC's help, we've been able to more than double in size. Now we're at $1 million run rate. And that's really just the beginning. Just a few weeks ago, we signed a deal with Pinterest to help power some of their buyable pins. We're very excited about this. We'll be able to take our widget and put it in their mobile app and in their desktop web experience. This is really, really, really exciting for us. And it'll have us we'll be expanding our network by 50 times by the end of the year. It's also great, it's great validation that we can bring our experience to other platforms and inside of other apps. So again, my name is Andrew Chapin, and that's Benja, deals that don't waste your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. And that concludes our formal program today. I invite you all downstairs to spend a little more time with the founders and the teams to learn more about their business and what's next for them. Thank you again for coming.